And I hated my Grandma Tessie. I mean, I didn't even go see her when she was dying, because the myth I grew up with was that she left Joe at the height of the blacklist for some rich guy. And that part wasn't a myth. It was true, only now I realize she must have known he spied, and she must have thought he brought this on himself, and on her, and on their 3 young kids who she was supporting when he couldn't work. And she didn't see it as noble. She saw it as stupid and irresponsible. And just think, as everything's starting to come out about what is happening under Stalin, she must have thought, oh, for this, we are destitute? My children are destitute? She is 7 months pregnant, and he is standing up there denying. Oh, and the legend about Vera. How she met him when he was jobless and suicidally depressed because he had no job, no marriage, and oh, he'd lost hope in the beautiful dream that was the revolution, and she accepted that. She was proud to be with a man who stood before the committee and took the fifth. Only now that I've read the testimony, I realize he didn't always take the fifth. He also lied. And I bet you Vera knew that too. So their marriage became this tiny fortress against what had emerged to be a terrible mistake, which they've never acknowledged.
No. It's more than that. It's like when I go running in the park, if I still could. Every week or so, not every day, but every week or two, some guy will walk by or drive by and say something to me. You know, nice ass. I want to jog with you, or fuck you, or fuck me. It's been happening since I was 12, so I know how to ignore it, but every 10th time or so, I still feel it. I feel reduced. I feel like everything I know about myself, I'm a good writer. I read a lot of books. I like Fall Better Than Spring, or how I haven't had many friends since my parents died. Even though that was a long time ago, I feel like everything I know about myself just gets wiped out. And it's like I'm this thing running down the sidewalk. I'm not me anymore. I'm just this thing. And that's how I feel now. All the time.
I mean, never ever previously in my life have I not had to make the first move. You know, like not actually have to do the leaning in and kissing myself. well, not within an ongoing relationship. You know, of course, girls will initiate things, but I don't know. With this girl, man, I was in like mid-sentence, and she just leans in and kisses me. And then we start making out, and at one point, she says this. I just thought it was so sweet. She turns to me and she goes, "You're the nicest American I've ever met." I was like, yeah. I feel like I represent the very best qualities of my nation. Oh! See, this is the coolest thing though. See, we get to the front door of the apartment building, and she turns to me and she goes, "Do you have any condoms?" So I'm just like, "Hey, I grew up in California." And she goes, "I have no idea what that means." So I'm just like, yes. Yes, I do.
When I first got back, they sent me to this boxing match. Don King, you know. And everyone cheered for me when they introduced me. I had a lot of people coming up to me, you know, the whole, "Thank you so much for your service" kind of thing. I had a lot of nice things done for me. But very public, you know? And I used to get a little embarrassed thinking the only reason you're doing this is because I got wounded. And to me, getting wounded doesn't make you the hero, you know? That's the one gunfight I lost. Getting shot doesn't make me anything. And I know, they mean so well. It's very genuine, I'm sure. The problem's all mine. It's the way I'm taking it. Because I guess it's just, here's what I think and here's what I know. And I'll try to stick with what I know and stay away from what I think. And what I know is that no one's going to tell you the truth. They're never going to tell you the way things truly were out there. You know, they're only going to exhibit the chest thumping, the we were in the shit, the drunken bar talk. I was right there. We were leading the invasion, and what I read in those books is utter nonsense.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings, but mercy is above the scepter's sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly power then shall like gods when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice none of us shall see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and in that same prayer teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoken thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
Why get pregnant? Because we can. Existentially speaking, aside from suicide, it is the most meaningful decision a young woman can make. We take control of our own fate. Not parents or priests or politicians. Not coaches or teachers of textbooks pre-approved by the educational oligarchy. Not old men with prostate problems and hairy ears. We get pregnant and our community automatically exiles us. Our parents disown us. No man wants to be with a single teen mother. We take control of our own fate. And whether you like it or not, your novel showed us that, Mr. Falmouth. Now, we only have about 30 minutes before my aunt starts making rounds of the units. Do you have any sexually transmitted diseases? I'm ovulating and actually quite excited about the prospect of the creator of our great text being my host. There's powerful poetry at play. You're not sterile, are you? Your fertility is sort of paramount to this actually happening, Mr. Falmouth.
If you hadn't have been there, I could have done it right. You said you wouldn't be, but I guess that was a trick, right? You just tricked me like you always say. You see, I wish I could figure these things out. You know, think them all the way through so they would make sense, but I tried, Lou. I tried really hard, and I thought, well, he called, you weren't in, and if I could just make that connection, I could just go away by myself. And I wouldn't have to bother you anymore. See, I go away, you wouldn't know where. Maybe I become a bum and I'll forget my name. Oh, it could happen. But one day you see me on the street and I'll be all dressed up with silver shoes and a silver suit and diamond rings, and you see me and you say, well, look at that. Look at Tim, he's dressed so nice. And he's got girls on his arms, lots and lots of girls. You see me and you say, well, I guess I was wrong. He did all right. And then we see each other. Maybe we wouldn't know what to do at first, but then we'd see each other and it'll be like nothing ever happened. and it'll be okay.